back to my channel. So today we are skipping the intro and jumping right into the makeup tutorial. Today's video is going to be a get ready with me featuring all products from the drugstore, and it's also going to be a more chatty talk through get ready with me. I know usually when I do makeup tutorials I do voiceovers, so I thought today I would try something a little bit different and actually talk to you guys and explain everything that I'm doing as I'm doing it throughout the makeup tutorial. So as you can see, I have already applied my base. Since I am going to be talking to you guys, I figured I would go ahead and do that off camera just to save a little bit of time, but I will go ahead and run through really quickly what I used on my face. So for my primers, I did use this L'Oreal Studio Secrets Magic Perfecting Base. I've been using this recently to apply to smooth out my skin and fill in my pores. And then after that, I applied this NYX Angel Veil Skin Perfecting Primer to help control oil. For foundation today, I used the Maybelline Dream Velvet Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. I am in the shade Caramel, and I just applied that all over my entire face. And underneath my eyes, you guys know I always use my NYX Dark Circle Corrector. And then sticking with Maybelline products, I used these two concealers. I used the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 35 Deep. And then I also used this Super Stay Better Skin Concealer, and this one is in the shade Medium. So to set my under eyes, I used the Maybelline Master Fix Setting Perfecting Loose Powder. You guys know how much I love this. And then to set the rest of my face, I used the NYX Mineral Set It, Don't Fret It Matte Finishing Powder. I also, as you can see, went ahead and filled in my brows off camera. And all of these products that I just mentioned to you, I will have listed in the description bar down below in case you want to check that out. So the next thing that I'm going to do is set my eyebrows in place. I'm using this L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper. I always use this. This one is in the shade Medium to Dark. It's one of my favorite products to set my brows. And if you are new to my channel, I do have a full-on brow tutorial, which I will link for you down below if you're interested in actually checking out, you know, step by step how I fill in my brows. But I'm just going to run this through the hairs of my brows and just set them in place. And this is just going to help to make sure that, you know, they stay in place all day and they're all going the same direction and all that good stuff. So next up, I'm going to jump into the eyes, and today I really wanted to use my Carly Bible eyeshadow palette, which looks like this. And the first shade that I'm going in with is this neutral beige shade right here. And I'm just going to apply this all over my entire lid to set my concealer that I applied on my eyelid when I applied my base, and also just kind of even everything out for the eyeshadows that I'm going to be applying next. So next up, I'm going to move on to my transition shade, and I'm going to be using this little palette that I put together from Coastal Scents. It just comes completely empty, and then you can pop in whatever eyeshadows you want. So I decided to put all of my matte shadows from Coastal Scents in here. And I'm going to be using this kind of tannish brown shade right here to apply all throughout my crease. And as I mentioned, this is just going to be the transition shade, which will just help to blend all of the other shadows later. Okay, so now that I've got that applied, I'm going to go in with this neutral brown shade right here, and I will have all of the shades and everything listed in the description bar down below. I don't know them off the top of my head, but I'm going to take this neutral brown shade, and I'm going to take a brush that is a little bit more dense, and I'm going to apply this a little bit more precisely in the crease right below that tan shade that we just applied. So now that I've got that applied, I'm just going to go back in with a little bit more of that tan shade and just really kind of buff and blend out those edges a little bit more, because we don't want any harsh lines. You guys know how I feel about those harsh lines, so just trying to make sure that everything is nicely buffed and blended and there's a nice gradient. Okay, so now that I've got that applied, I'm going to go back to my Carly Bible palette, and I'm going to be taking this kind of olivey, it's kind of like a brownish, a very cool toned brown shade, and I'm going to be applying this with a pencil brush. This one is by Morphe. It's the M169 pencil brush, and I'm just going to apply this really precisely in the crease area, almost kind of like a cut crease. And I am going to bring this all the way from the outer corner into the inner corner. All of the shadows, I went all the way from outer to inner corner. And I'm just going to take my blending brush again. I don't have any additional product on it this time. And just kind of run it over that shadow that we just applied, just to kind of buff it out a little bit. So next I'm going to move on to the lid color, and this shadow right here really caught my eye, this copper shade. And it's a really beautiful shimmery copper shade, like I said. So I'm just going to use this flat shader brush. This one is the Sigma E55 eye shading brush. And I'm just going to apply this all over my entire eyelid. Okay, so as you can see, that is a really gorgeous shadow all by itself, but I think I want to go in with this ColourPop Super Shock Shadow also. It's in the shade Game Face, and it's just a really beautiful, coppery, more intensely shimmery shade. So I'm just going to apply that right on top of the shade that we just applied all over the entire lid. Okay, so now that we've got that lid shade applied, I'm gonna go back into this shade right here that we used in the crease, and I'm just going to apply a little bit more of that more precisely in the crease, just to blend out the edges of that shadow, because I do want this to be a pretty intensely, you know, cut crease. So I'm just gonna go back in with this color and just make sure that it's showing up really nice and sharp in that crease area. And then I'm also going to go back in with a little bit of that neutral brown shade that we used in the crease also, just to blend out those edges a little bit, just so that it's not too harsh. And then lastly, I am going to go back in with a little bit more of that tan shade right up above, you know, right below the brow and above this crease shade, just to kind of make sure that everything blends nicely and there's a nice gradient. Okay, so next I'm going to go ahead and apply my liner and lashes off camera, just because it's almost impossible for me to do that without coming or going out of the frame. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll be right back to let you know what products I used. Alright, so lashes are on and winged eyeliner is in full effect. For my winged liner, I used the Jessie's Girl Liquid Eyeliner. This is hands down one of my favorite eyeliners from the drugstore. I believe that I got this in either a BoxyCharm or an Ipsy bag, and I have been obsessed with it ever since. I love this eyeliner, especially for applying my wing. And then these lashes that I'm wearing are by a brand called Southern Butte, and they are in the shade Christy, and I'm obsessed with them. Am I the only one? I feel like anytime that I do a makeup tutorial, or like I'm doing my makeup, when I'm applying my makeup, I'm like, oh my gosh, this sucks. I'm gonna have to wash it off. But then as soon as I put on a good pair of lashes, I'm like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. A good pair of lashes can really make a huge difference, and these are giving me life. So we're good to go on the lashes and the liner. Now I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the lower lash line before I start on the face. So the first thing that I'm going to do is apply a black eyeliner to my waterline. I'm using this one by Duce Cosmetics, I think is how you pronounce it. I got this in a BoxyCharm also, and I've been loving it. Hopefully this is drugstore. I'm not sure. I got it in a BoxyCharm, but I love it. So if it's not drugstore, or if it's not like affordable, you can also use, Milani has like something similar, or the L'Oreal Silkissime or Silkissime eyeliner. It's the same type of consistency. So I'm just going to apply this in my waterline and also bring it down into my lower lashes as well, because we're really gonna smoke out that lower lash line. So of course we don't want to leave it like this, so I'm going to go back in with that neutral brown shade that we used in the crease on this short shader brush by Sigma, and I'm going to start to kind of buff and blend that line out a little bit. So now that I've got that blended out, I'm going to go in with a pencil brush and a little bit of this shade right here, which was the first transition shade that we used in the crease. And I'm just going to further buff and kind of smoke out that lower lash line. So I'm not exactly loving the way that this looks, so I'm going to go in with this darker brown shade. It's kind of like a chocolate shade on my pencil brush, and kind of apply that in the outer portion of my lower lash line and blend it in a little bit. I want it to be a little bit darker down there than it is right now. So I went ahead and finished off the eyes with a coat of mascara. I used the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black Mascara to apply some mascara to my lower lashes. And so now I'm going to go ahead and highlight my inner corner, and I'm just going to use this kind of champagne golden shade from the Carly Bible palette, and just a little small precise brush. I have no idea where this brush is from, but I'm just going to go ahead and apply this color to my inner corner. Okay, so I decided to actually add in a little bit of this pinky champagne shade right here because that first shade just wasn't getting it done for me. But I went ahead and applied that in my inner corner, and now our eyes are done. So moving on to the face, the first thing that I'm going to do is kind of contour and bronze all with one step. And I'm going to be using this Rimmel London, what is this called? I guess it's just a contouring palette, and mine is in the shade 03 Golden Bronze. It's the darkest one that they have. I'm just going to go ahead and pick up this contour shade, and the brush I'm using is the Sigma Small Contour F05 Sigma Small Contour, and I'm just going to apply this right in the hollows of my cheeks. And then of course, I'm also gonna bring this on my temples and on the sides of my nose as well. So for my blush and highlight, I think I'm going to go ahead and just stick with this same palette. I'm going to go ahead and use this blush and just apply it to the apples of my cheeks and blend it back into the contour. And then I'm going to go in with this highlighter, which is a stunning highlighter, by the way. And I'm just going to apply that onto the tops of my cheekbones and the tip of my nose and my cupid's bow. That highlight, yes, 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 yes. And this brush, by the way, is Sedona Lace. It's a fan brush, FB01. But this highlighter is giving me life. Alright, so now that we're done with the face, we can go ahead and move on to the lips. I decided that I wanted to do kind of a nude lip. So the first thing that I'm going to do is line them with this lip liner by Milani in the shade Cocoa. And then I'm also going to use this nude lipstick by Milani in the shade Enchanted Topaz. This was a limited edition shade, but Milani has tons of shades, so you can definitely find another nude if you don't have this one. And then on top of that, I'm going to apply a little bit of gloss, I think. And this one is a Maybelline Color Elixir or Color Sensational Elixir, and it's in the shade Nude Illusion. So let's go ahead and put this stuff on our lips. Okay, so actually I'm kind of digging this new lip the way that it is, so I think I'm going to leave it like this without the gloss. But if you wanted to add a gloss, like I said, I was going to use this Maybelline Elixir gloss, Color Elixir, in the shade Nude Illusion. But I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is because I'm kind of digging it. But that is it for this makeup tutorial. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I really liked the way that it came out. I wasn't really completely sure what I was going to do today, but I knew I wanted to use the Carly Bible palette. And I really like the way that the look came out. So I hope that you guys, like I said, enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoyed this different kind of talk through type of format. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll make sure that I do more talk through chatty type makeup tutorials for you guys in the future. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe if you haven't already. I will also have my social media links down below. I hope that you guys are having an amazing day and an amazing week so far, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye.